welcome to another episode of Les and Lesse in the morning. Today we are so honored to have Miss Ezell with us, as well as Mr. Lanier, and they're going to talk about two of our extracurricular activities that we have going on at the school. One is esports, and the other is robotics. So we'll start with Miss Ezell. Introduce yourself and tell us what you're going to talk about today.
Okay. Hi, I'm Miss Ezell, and I am the middle school esports coach and the Hammoney Middle High School robotics coach.
And Mr. Lanier.
All right, I'm Mr. Lanier, Alex Lanier, and I am the Hammoney Esports Varsity Coach.
So Miss Ezell, tell us about your esports.
Okay, so I have the middle school esports team, and they come in. Our season is over right now, but our season usually starts in September, and we go through November, and we get the students ready to push into the high school esports team. So I send them to Mr. Lanier, and we try to prep them on their communication skills, on their teamwork skills, to actually play some games. We have competitions that we compete with students in other areas, which is really cool because the kids they don't get to see each other, but they get to play against each other. So that's really cool. And then we set them up to go to Mr. Lanier's program.
Okay, so yours is like the beginner stage.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about like what does that entail?
So they really don't even have to know how to game yet. They can come in and learn. Some of them just like to come in and watch the students, or they play certain games. We had Madden, 2K, all of the Nintendo Switch games. They played all of those, and we competed with those with other schools. And so they would come in, and some days they would just practice and play against each other, and then the other days we'd actually have competition, which was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay,
does anything like graduate them from your beginner class to his class, or just grade level?
Generally, when you're an 8th grader, that's the last time you're with me, because I only have 7th and 8th, and then I talk to Mr. Lanier about which students are really good or which students he'll be able to work with in order to get them in the program.
Okay. Then, Mr. Lanier, when they get to you, what does that look like?
So first of all,
can you do me a favor first?
Yes.
So before you explain what happens when they get to you, can you explain to our community, our grandparents and parents, what esports is all about? Years ago, right? This is before we started playing football at our new stadium. I had an interview with Channel 12 News or 66, one of them.
Yes.
And they brought esports up, and parents saying, my kid is not playing video games for a living. And I'm like, my response was, whatever will get them inside of college, I'm okay with it. So can you explain that first and then go on with the other question?
Sure. Okay, so before I go that, let me go all the way back, because I'm going to give everybody a little bit of history. All right. Esports, using video games for education, is nothing new. The military has been doing it with simulations for years, training our troops to be better prepared as they go out into these real life situations. So from the school perspective is we understand that it can serve that same purpose. They don't have to be in the military, they can be in school and learn things like teamwork, communication skills through a pathway that they are already familiar with.
Okay.
You know, I remember when I was in middle school, one of my worst subjects was English, and my favorite subject was math. So I spent all my time trying to get better with English, and I fell behind in math. Then we had this wonderful computer teacher that says he's holding competitions, and it was a game called Number Munchers, and it went through basic math skills. And so all the kids started coming down because they wanted to win this $10 prize for having the highest score by the end of the week, not realizing all that video game playing made us stronger and better in math, and the school noticed math skills came up.
Okay.
So wonderful idea. So it's nothing new. So the fact that video games have evolved, and so now a lot of parents say, well, all our kids do is sit home and play. Well, for teams like Hammoney Hawks, esports team, Miss Ezell and I think, do a wonderful job. She preps them, she gets them used to the environment. So by the time they get to my program at the high school level, it then becomes okay, you know how to behave, you know how to conduct yourselves in this professional arena. Let's talk professional communication skills. You know, because we compete with people across the eastern region. So we compete with schools in Florida, in Virginia, in Maine, in New York, you know, and so when we talk about developing a world-class student, well, they have to know outside of their city and state.
Right.
So this also gives them a lot of opportunities to communicate. We've had students that went on to play at universities, University of Kentucky, after our first year, one of our seniors graduate. Eastern has a community team. I don't think they have a competitive team, at least they didn't at the time, but another student went there and he plays actively there. We partnership with colleges. So esports is showing students there's different ways to get into colleges. And colleges are fostering esports programs. I have to give hats off to Northwood University that have made Michigan world renowned for certain esports games. It's a multi-billion-dollar sport, now accepted as a varsity sport. And so by the time they get to me, my job is to get them prepared for college, show them where it can take them, as well as building their skills, looking beyond just pushing buttons. You know, there's jobs in all parts of esports, whether it's the broadcasting, because we stream games, so you need content providers, you need promoters, you know, so not just the players, but it's a full industry.
So
that's
parents,
incredible.
and grandparents, please take advantage of it. If you got a kid that really is really skilled and really loves playing video games, let's take that perceived negative and use it as a positive. Have them get involved in the esports program here in the Westwood High School District. It could benefit him, keep him out of trouble, her, keep her, because we have young ladies involved too, so
Yes.
keep them
In fact,
out of
we want
trouble.
more young ladies.
Okay, we want
Definitely.
more young ladies, have them involved. Once again, they're safe here at the school, and it can provide for them to get an education. And I think that's the most important. That's one of the reasons why we embrace it here.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing? So for the middle school team, we compete with students in Michigan, all of the counties in Michigan. And we also talk to them about college and those other aspects. And when I talk to parents, I talk to them about that also, because they have to fill out paperwork and, you know, we have to talk and communicate. So
Okay, so when it comes to like a team, so is there a certain amount of people that could be on these teams, or is it everyone that participates gets on the team, or how does that look?
You want to take that one, or?
well, for middle school, it's just everybody that comes in can play. It's just how much equipment we have for the students to be on.
Okay.
So we borrowed some switches from the ISD, but I don't know, you know, once we get ours, it'll just be however many units we have for them to play on.
Okay.
So in my lab, it's based on how many units we have.
Okay.
And truthfully, so each league is slightly different. So the leagues that we use or that we play in, okay, last year we made the mistake of doing 2 leagues at the same time. It's a lot of work managing 2 leagues. So this year we're going back to 1 league. And in that they have all sorts of games from Mario Brothers, Smash Bros, Madden, NBA 2K, Rocket League, which is like soccer for those that's not familiar with it, League of Legends, Overwatch, which are great team building games. So in each game is a team. So I have, for example, one person that plays Madden. He's his own team, right? So I can have maybe 3 of them, but they're limited always by the space and the number of consoles that we have.
Okay.
But sometimes the programs can get really big. We've seen some programs that have 30 people in it.
Wow.
You know, and we've seen some as small as 6 people in it. So it's really limited based off your equipment and what the students want to do. I can say at the high school level, though, and parents, rest assured, this is a great part. I think it's great at the high school level. There are no human shooting games, so like no Call of Duty, no Rainbow Six. They do have those, but those are more at the collegiate level. So at the high school, they don't want to promote the gun violence, which is always a wonderful thing, especially in the climate that we're in.
Absolutely.
Okay. That was going to be my next question.
And middle school, definitely not.
Okay. So, when do you guys start recruiting for esports? Or is it just like word of mouth, or is it like,
Well, we recruit most of the time because school starts and then we start having announcements. And then students that were in it before, they say, oh, is it time for esports? And then they start talking to other people. And then once they come, then other kids want to come and join. And so
Okay.
I just let them come. If you want to come on. They have the games at home anyway.
Right.
They just like to be in the environment. Plus, I give them a snack and they get to eat after school.
Okay.
Same with us. So we start talking about it as soon as we get back to school. And then right after Thanksgiving, we host open labs. So anybody can come, play any game that you want, get familiar. We want you to be comfortable with the environment, the routine of, guess what, after school, I'm not just going home. I'm staying after school, I'm communicating, I'm learning these skills, because we still apply the school rules. Like, there's absolutely no profanity in the gaming room. We know you're socializing with friends. We also work on emotion control
Okay.
on it, even at the open labs. And then those that choose to come back that says, okay, I'm really good, I'm ready to compete, then they have the opportunity to join the game, the teams.
So parents and grandparents and guardians, one of the things that we really want to stress is that these two programs highlight and promote kids who can do different things. Everybody's not an athlete. Everybody might not be an academic champion, but we want to provide a space and a place for kids who do things differently, who wants to be a part of a program or an extracurricular that provides for their skill, right? Because I think we have three type of kids in the building. We have the artistically inclined, academically inclined, and athletically inclined. And this is more of an art. And so we want to make sure that we promote these type of art programs, the robotics, your engineers, kids who know how to tinker and work with their hands and figure things out. Same thing with esports. And so we want to promote all our programming here so that you guys can be aware. And so our students can be aware that we want to create a place and a space for them. And if they are interested, they need to let us know. So if we get enough kids interested in doing different things that's appropriate for school, then we are here to promote it, right? And make sure that our kids here in Westwood Heights will have that opportunity. We call ourselves the District of Opportunity, and we want to make sure that we provide that for our kids, whether they take advantage of it or not. They can't say that we as leadership or as staff did not try to make sure that we provide great things for them.
Yeah. Ms. Ezell, I want another question. Speak a little bit about the robotics.
Okay,
'Cause
so
we
the
didn't-
robotics team here, Team 9242, we 9242, yay. So that team is comprised of middle school and high school.
Okay.
So the middle school students can't physically run the robot, but they can do all of the other things that we need to be done for the program.
Okay.
So the students, the high school students, basically from scratch build a robot. They have to program the robot. They have to run the robot. They have to engineer it. Mechanical engineering is involved. Electrical engineering is involved. All of the mechanics. And so then we practice. This year the scene is reef scape. So it's like they're going underwater. They're using algae and they're using coral to score. So that's going to be really exciting. If you want to see it, it's on YouTube as well. But in the lab, like I said, we have to build the robot. So that's all of the teamwork, that's all of the communication skills, that's all of those skills that you learn in school all day long. Okay. And then the math skills, you have to know how to read the directions, so all of those things, plus all of the build skills. Then we have 2 competitions every year that we participate in. Our first one is at Kettering.
Okay.
At the beginning of March, and our second one is at Fair State University at the
Oh,
end of
Bulldogs.
March. Yes. Woo. So the kids they're excited about it. We're in there. We have a 3D printer also. So there are lots of things that the kids can do. So some kids might say, I don't want to touch the robot. I'm scared of that. But we have all these other things, and once you get involved, then they see, oh, I can do this other stuff. Oh, I like to do the robot. Can I tinker with it? Yes, you can, So those are the things that are important. But all
Have you
the
ever been
skills-
to a robotics competition?
No.
Oh my God.
Is it cool?
It
Yes.
is packed like a Hamity Beecher basketball
Yes,
game.
it is.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And what's our number again?
9242.
So they be screaming like a whole crowd, 92-42, go! Like they are so serious about it. And
Really?
it's like
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I would like
Everybody
for other
should go to
students to
one.
come. Yes,
It's a
other
day
students
event.
and parents to come and see what we're doing, because the kids that work on the robot, like, they really from scratch. We get a box, a kit, and they have to put everything together. Right now we're working on Swerve Drive, so our robot can go all over the place, because right now it's just going back and forth, side to side. But once the Swerve Drive, and the students are being intuitive, like they're like, Mrs. Zell, we want to do Swerve Drive this year. We don't even have an extra mentor to help us, but the kids are like, we want to do Swerve Drive. So they've been putting wheels together, and they're trying to print some stuff we need for the wheels off with our 3D printer. So they're doing all of this. Yeah, so I'm proud of them.
Oh, that's funny that you mentioned Ferris, because when we went on a college visit last year, they got a new esports room. Remember?
Yep.
I want to
They
say
just
also
got it, yes.
that our 2 seniors that are leaving, Francisco Hernandez and Antonio Duran. Antonio has been accepted to Kettering University. And as a matter of fact,
My Egypt partner.
on Thursday, he said he couldn't come to practice because he has to go to Ford in Detroit to talk about his internship.
That is super
Yeah.
cool. He
Nice.
was on the podcast.
Yes.
We talked about
Yes.
esports.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
Francisco, he's our driver. They used to call, when our first year out, they called us the bully because he was running over people. He was just attacking. We made it to states our first year because Francisco, everybody wanted him as a partner alliance because they knew he was going to be defensive and he was going to knock him out the park, and he was doing his job. And so we're trying to get him into, where's he want to go? Saginaw Valley
Saginaw
State.
Valley,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That is so cool. So with the robotics, do you guys like recruit, or do people just come out, or because that seems like that's like a serious
It is.
sport.
It is.
So-
So I think what happens, we do recruit, but I think people are scared of that robot, and so they don't realize that there are other positions you can do. Like, we need people to do all kinds of things: take pictures, scout for us, make the bracelets, because we're going to do Dimes for Diapers. So we're
Okay.
going to sell the bracelets for $1, and then we're going to give the money to Dimes for Diapers. And so we have kids in there making bracelets every day. We have kids that have to call and get funds, or get funds from other stores like Home Depot or Hobby Lobby or whomever. Sometimes kids call their parents, and they don't act like they're their parents, and they say, hey, we need a donation. Not, I need to speak to my mom, but can I speak to the business
So
owner?
give a plug out right now. Ask the community what you need. Tell the community what
Okay,
you need.
I need, absolutely.
That's it.
As a matter of fact, right now we need mentors. Any mentor, anybody that has skill in mechanical, electrical, any type of engineering program, we need you. We need you. We need parents to come to our competitions, because we have spots that we have to fill. We have volunteers we have to have. We need students to come and actually build the robot, help them build the robot, do the other activities that we have in the lab. So we just need a myriad of people to come in and help us out. Team 9242.
9242.
Also, Miss Ezell, I think it would be kind of cool to like promote the program, both programs. I mean, esports is kind of like everybody likes to play the game, but the robotics program, and during the lunches, I think some kids, they're not privy to everything that it entails.
Yeah. So sometimes we do, like on those days when we have in the gym, and we bring all the kids down for all the extra
Okay.
We do have the robot out, and we let them see how the robot is being run. We can't let them run it,
Right.
because we have to have documentation, but we run the robot while they're there so people can see it. We also have taken it to board meetings. But yeah, I can get the students to probably bring the robot out, but only thing is there's so many kids around, and you
Yeah.
have to have it blocked off.
Even just talk about those other areas where you said the small help
yeah,
is
yeah,
needed.
yeah.
Because
Yeah,
some
we can
kids
do
just
that.
want to be a part of something.
Yeah, yeah.
So even if I'm making a bracelet, I can still say, I'm on a robotics team.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You can.
Yeah.
I can do that. That's a good idea. Yeah.
So let me
that's a
make
good
another
idea.
plug. So community, please listen. We have this philosophy. We and us are a must. So we need you to help our kids so we can promote our programming. And so if you know any mentors, if you know anybody that can help, we believe that if other districts can do it, why not us? Why not our kids? We love our students here in Westwood Heights, and so we want to be able to promote every program that anybody else can. And so please reach out to the community, reach out to people you know to help our young folks, to help our mentors and our teachers promote the program here in Westwood Heights.
Thank you.
Okay, before we go, Miss Ezell, one more thing do you want to say about your programs, or you want to say to the community or anything?
Talk about Texas.
Oh, okay. So our world competition is in Texas every year, and last year the board was generous enough to send 2 students.
Thank you,
to
board.
help with other.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. To send 2 students to help another team, the Goodrich team. We had Francisco on one team and Antonio on the other team. They had a wonderful time. It was a wonderful experience. They got to see firsthand how the top groups are doing, what the groups that aren't the top but they still made it are doing. It was fantastic. So the students, when I talked to them yesterday, their mission is to actually do states in April and then go to Worlds again in April, but for us, not with the other team.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Lanier.
Yes. Well, first of all, I want to give shots out to Hamity, the board, superintendent, principal, all right, for making it all possible. I want to give a shout out to a couple of universities also, to Kettering University, because when we were starting our program, they were one of the first universities to invite us over to their labs to see how they do it at the collegiate level. And I also want to give a big shout out to U of M Flint
Hey,
that
Yes.
are
Go
even
Blue.
here. And they
Yes.
send over people at least once a week, and they've given us equipment to keep our program strong and going. They've sent over some of their players so our students can talk with them and see how some of the big dogs do it at their levels.
Yeah.
But parents, I also ask, send your students out, even if they're people that they like YouTube and they want to be podcasters. They can come and podcast with esports. There's a
Yes.
big field for that. A multi-million-dollar industry just for showing, promoting. If you have one that does arts and crafts, send them, because we're always looking for new arts and crafts and designs for esports, because there's so many different games that people like to represent what they do. So parents, please send us. If they like to talk, that's good, because they can sit and they can talk, and we can have commentators and really expand the program on all levels.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
Okay, Mr. Key, anything else?
I have nothing else. I just want to thank you guys so much for coming in for Les and Lesse in the morning and promoting your programs and letting the community know what great things we're doing here in the Westwood Heights Community School District.
Les and Lesse is giving us more and more.
Thank you.